Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, October 1st. Welcome to the Inside Edge. The business of elections is supposed to be transparent, but instead, the state government's top election lawyer just disappeared, at least publicly, and nobody in Trenton wants to talk about it. Assistant Attorney General Susan Scott, she's the lawyer in charge of elections for the Attorney General's office, quietly slipped out of her post this summer. She didn't resign. She wasn't fired. She simply moved over to West State Street to the Secretary of State's Division of Elections. She was put on a 3-month mobility assignment. There was no announcement, no explanation, no acknowledgement. And I asked the Attorney General's office what was going on. No statement. Elections, which is the process we use to choose our leaders, shouldn't be shrouded in mystery and secrecy. Yet here we are with a key figure gone during the most consequential election season on the New Jersey political calendar. Now, why did she leave? I know why. Scott was detailed to the Division of Elections to work on 2 projects. First, drafting a plan to overhaul Title 19. Now, that's the state's ridiculously unwieldy election code. Second, she was tasked with preparing for the possibility that Mikey Sherrill wins the governor's race in November. And if Sherrill does win, Democrats want to fill her seat as quickly as possible. And state officials are mapping out a plan to handle all of that during the post-election lame duck season. Fixing Title 19, that's a noble cause. I wouldn't hate it if they just burned that book entirely, but it's not clear why Susan Scott can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Scott's absence hasn't exactly helped the election she's supposed to be safeguarding. And the problems start before that. In June, thousands of voters were knocked off the rolls after a motor vehicle commission error ballooned during the Real ID rush. Some voters insist their party registration changed without their consent. Judges found that to be the case. Assemblywoman Ora Dunn demanded Scott's firing, saying that Susan Scott failed to protect New Jerseyans from being disenfranchised. Since then, the summer's election litigation has been a mess. Roselle, a primary voided because a poll worker made a mistake, and DMV errors and a crappy judge, petitions in Hillside, a recall in Park Ridge, a school board candidate in South Bergen who forgot she was on the ballot this year, forgot that she was up for re-election. Now Gloucester County, where a ballot design fight could shape control of county government, maybe this critical seats in the state assembly, Scott hasn't been around to supervise her deputy attorney generals, and they've been underwhelming, to say the least. Susan Scott's job is to ensure the integrity of the elections underway, not to workshop how to replace a congresswoman who hasn't won. Voters expect the state elections chief lawyer to be focused on today, not tomorrow. But instead, the message is clear. The people running our elections don't think they need to tell you what they're doing or why. That's not a system built on trust. That's a system that is built on silence, and silence is the last thing you want in an election. That's all for today, everybody. Thanks for listening. The